Afcon after the whistle. Fines, bans, and the moment African football faced itself. I will always look my objective analysis. Many will not like it. Many have accused me of being biased and unprofessional. But if they had listened carefully, they will understand I'm being objective here. Welcome back to the real offside banter, the home of African football. This is where stories and news of African football and footballers are analyzed. Please join us today. Subscribe, like, share, and comment. Let's begin. When the Afcon final ended, many people thought the story was finished. Senegal had lifted the trophy, Morocco had lost a painful final, and Africa had crowned a champion. But those of us who have watched African football for decades knew something immediately. This tournament was not done talking. Because Afcon does not always end with the final whistle. Sometimes that's when the real questions begin. What followed shocked many fans, not because of football, but because of discipline. After reviewing the chaos of the final, Confederation of African Football came down hard. And for the first time in a long time, CAF didn't whisper. They acted. The fines. This was not symbolic. Let's be clear about the numbers, because numbers tell intent. CAF imposed fines totaling over $1 million on both finalists combined. Senegal were fined hundreds of thousands of dollars, largely for the walk-off protest, technical area misconduct, and failure to control team officials. Morocco were also fined a substantial six-figure amount relating to post-match conduct, protests, and behavior deemed to undermine match integrity. This was not about revenue, this was about deterrence. CAF wanted every federation watching to understand one thing: this cannot happen again. The bans, where it really hurts. Now let's talk about bans, because fines hurt federations. Bans hurt football people directly. Senegal. Senegal's head coach received a multi-match suspension, widely reported as around 5 competitive matches, meaning he cannot be on the touchline for future CAF competitions. 2 Senegal players were also suspended for unsporting conduct during the final and its aftermath, with bans ranging from 1 to 2 matches. That is serious. A coach on the touchline is not decoration. He is the mind in real time. You remove that and you change games. Morocco. Morocco were not untouched. 2 Moroccan players received match bans for post-match conduct and dissent. Officials associated with the team were also sanctioned for behavior CAF described as damaging to the image of the competition. So this was not one-sided punishment. CAF made sure both camps felt it. Why CAF had no choice. Some fans asked, was CAF too harsh? From an emotional point of view, maybe. From a governance point of view, no. If a team can interrupt a final, even briefly, and nothing happens, then tomorrow another team will try it, then another. And soon African football becomes a theater of protests instead of a contest of football. CAF understood that danger. That's why the punishment was heavy. It was meant to stop a precedent, not just punish an incident. But here is the deeper problem. Now let me speak as someone who loves African football, not as a cheerleader, but as a guardian of its future. You cannot punish behavior without fixing the environment that produces it. Yes, the walk-off was wrong. Yes, discipline was necessary. But VAR confusion, inconsistent refereeing thresholds, and poor communication were part of the fire. And if those things are not improved, punishments alone will not bring peace. They will only bring fear. Why the result still stands. Despite everything, fines, bans, anger, the result stands. Because Senegal returned to the pitch, played on, scored within the laws, managed pressure better. And football law does not rewrite history because of controversy. It corrects behavior going forward. What this moment really means for African football. This Afcon was a turning point, not because of the trophy, but because African football realized something important. You cannot demand global respect while managing chaos locally. CAF drew a line, but now they must do the harder work. Clearer VAR explanations, stronger referee protection and accountability, better crisis management in big games. Because discipline without clarity creates resentment, not progress. Final thought. As someone who has watched Afcon for most of his life, I'll say this quietly. This tournament showed growth and growing pains. CAF punished the act. Now they must heal the system. Because African football does not lack passion. What it needs now is trust. So I ask you, honestly on a final note, did CAF do the right thing by coming down hard? Or should fixing VAR and refereeing be the real priority before punishment? Let's talk football with respect. Please comment, like, and share, please.